Hey everyone, it's Jason and this is your cruise news update, and you need to be aware of this change if you have a Royal Caribbean cruise booked. We have some incredibly sad news from Carnival's Celebration Key, and we have a warning from passengers about a $23,000 cruise nightmare. So cruise story number one, do you like to save money on your cruise? Of course you do, we all do. And one tip I've given to people for many years is make sure to book your cruise as far out in advance as possible, because a lot of times the cruise lines, when they introduce their new sailings, they do it at a reduced rate. So they can report back to Wall Street they have all these bookings already. Also, you can then make a phone call if the price drops and the cruise line will honor it. Well, about 90 days ago, I called up Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises. Obviously, they're the same corporation. And I said, hey, my price dropped on my cruise. Can I get the difference here? And they said, oh, we're so sorry. We can't do that because this was part of a sale. And I'm like, can you show me where that it says that in the exclusions? It wasn't there. Each one of them gave me that price drop. Well, it seems as Royal Caribbean has wised up as they're running a new sale right now. I think it's called the All for One. Well, in the exclusions, it says for new bookings only. So you can see an advertised cruise price on your cruise, and many people on Facebook and Reddit are reporting this, that it's $500, $600, $700 cheaper, but they are not able to get this. They're like, so what is the price then for me? And they're like, well, you can cancel the cruise, lose your non-refundable deposit. That's where Royal Caribbean and Celebrity gets a lot of customers, because you're stuck. And then we'll give you that new price. Now, what's interesting is on one board on Facebook, there's about 400 comments. And I would say it's about 50-50. People saying, I got the price drop, and others saying, I've called 3 or 4 times and I can't get the price drop. So what is it, Royal? Can they or can they not? I think they have to be consistent across the board. And this really does bother me when they're advertising a cruise price or any price and then you can't get it. I think of the cell phone companies. I don't know why it just automatically went in my head. When you are a current customer, I remember being a customer for Verizon for many years, and they had a promotion with 2 new cell phones, but it was for new customers only. And you're like, what do you mean? I've been paying all this for many years and I can't get it. A lot of the cell phone companies have wised up to this because they were just seeing people just switching every 2 years to another carrier. So now they offer it to existing customers. I just don't like this. A lot of people are saying, well, you were okay with the cruise price when you booked it. Why are you not okay now? Well, I'll give you an example. My Star of the Seas cruise started out at $6,500 and now it's $3,500. Would you be okay with that? A $3,000 difference? It's an interesting thing. What do you guys think about this? So also, if you do have a Royal Caribbean cruise booked, make sure this weekend, if you have any extras booked, such as specialty dining, especially, and any beverage packages, to check your cruise prices there, because they are doing a early Black Friday sale. I have no idea why, but it is deep discounts, and I was able to save $170. So hopefully you'll be able to save some money there. So cruise story number 2, and this is some incredibly sad news coming from Carnival's Celebration Key, as in 2 separate incidences, people drowned on the same day. So one was a 79-year-old man that was snorkeling. The other was a 74-year-old woman that drowned in the lagoon. So Carnival did issue a statement. I'm going to read it. It says, our lifeguards and medical team responded to 2 separate water emergency incidents at Celebration Key on Friday. One in the lagoon, one at the beach. Sadly, both guests have passed away. One guest was sailing with family on the Mardi Gras, and one guest was sailing with family on the Carnival Elation. Our thoughts and prayers are with the guests and their families, and our care team is providing assistance. Just awful cruise news. So sorry to hear this. So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video and consider subscribing, as it does help the channel grow. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. So cruise story number 3, and what would you have done in this situation? So this was a bucket list cruise for a husband and wife out of Atlanta, Georgia. They were going to Europe for 15 days on a Viking River cruise. She said that he had just recovered from some serious illness and they wanted to celebrate. And he said, hey, we're going to go over to Europe. Basically, he said probably one last time. So the cruise cost over $23,000. It's a Viking River cruise. So they get on the ship and the air conditioning isn't working. It's 87 degrees in their cabin. Now, they had to switch ships, which is understandable, right? Your air conditioning isn't working. They had the ability. No, they had to switch ships because of water levels. That does happen over there. So they switched ships, and the new ship, air conditioning isn't working either. For over 5 days, their cabin was 87 degrees. The ship was just hot everywhere. Now, what's interesting is they told them they could not open their doors or any windows because it would allow gnats to come in the ship. So imagine you're in that hot, stale, stinky air, and people start to get sick. The husband said he'd walk up and down the hallway and everyone was just coughing in their cabins. You could hear them. And they said the last straw, basically, the straw that broke the camel's back is they said their ceiling started to leak. Water was coming in. Now, they said this was multiple days they dealt with this. And then, of course, when they get the air conditioning fixed, they end up getting sick. They fly back to Atlanta, and they were diagnosed with bronchitis. Just a terrible situation. So what's interesting is she works as a volunteer for Channel 2 News at the Consumer Advocate Center. So she had an idea of what to do, right? She reached out to the CEO of Viking Cruises because it is a publicly traded company. They offered her $1,000 towards a future cruise. What a slap in someone's face. $1,000. Over $23,000 they spent for this cruise. So then Channel 2 News calls up Viking Cruises and wants a statement. And of course, they didn't want that. So they reached out to the passengers and came up with a financial settlement. What's interesting is they made them sign a non-disclosure. They said it worked out for both of them. But why are you making them sign a non-disclosure? Because basically you don't want to take care of the rest of the people that were on that terrible cruise that deserve compensation also? Just awful. I can't even imagine this. This is Viking Cruises. Usually, they have a good name. For them to do this, it's just unacceptable. I'm going to tell you what I would have done. I would have called up my insurance company. I would have called up my credit card company like day 2 and said, I can't live in 87 degree temperatures. I'm not sleeping in this. That's not what I signed up for. No offense, it just isn't. I live in Florida. We have air conditioning. When the air conditioning goes out, and I have someone that comes in and fixes it. If they can't fix it, I'll go stay in a hotel until it gets fixed. That's just the way it is. You can't live in that kind of heat. I would have gotten off the ship. I would have enjoyed Europe, rented a car, gone on trains, and I would have taken care of it through my insurance or my credit card, and I would have got my money back some way. How awful was this? What would you have done? Let me know in the comments. So I saw this and I thought it was a really cool video. This is a medical evacuation at sea. This is in time lapse. How incredible is this? This is the UK Coast Guard, and this is the Celebrity Silhouette. Have you ever seen anything like this? What precision here. I just thought it was a cool thing to end the video on. Let me know if you've ever seen a medical evacuation at sea and what ship. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you again for the continued support. And until I talk to you soon, happy cruising.